Hello guys, welcome to another video. So this is Nasdaq. We're going to start with Nasdaq. Remember how we do things here. I will just go through the chart and tell you where you can get your sell trades or buy trades. So we did look at this one last week and the price was here, and we are saying, contemplating whether we're going to take some trades to go up or if it will have a chance to go to the downside. And I said that those that are trading the bigger time frames, it was safer for them to wait for the movement to the downside because it was very mostly was most likely to happen. But again, when you go to the smaller time frames, I said those ones on the smaller time frame might actually get a pullback to the upside, of which the price did go up until there. But if you look at it when it moved up, but it's fine, we'll get to this. Make sure that you stick until the end so that I can take you through how it played out, where were the signs that this will actually have a chance to go to the downside or it will actually continue trading to the upside. So let's get started. All right, you know that on this channel we always start with the highest time frame so that we can actually have an idea of where the thing that we're looking at is most likely to go on a longer run. So here we're not going to waste time because it's something that we've been saying over and over again since it's a monthly chart, so the structure hasn't really changed. So we're saying that in terms of the support, this is the nearest support. In terms of the trend, we haven't really changed to the upside, but this is our trend line. So should this candlestick close outside like that, then we will have a different story. But for as long as it is still open, we haven't yet really changed to the bullish side. And this is our resistance. We are at the resistance, we are challenging the trend line, but the bears still have a chance to try and protect it and bring the candlestick down here. But for now, still bearish at the resistance. We might get a pullback. But again, one thing that you need to keep in mind is that we actually came here, touched it, now we are coming again. So maybe the bulls are a bit stronger now when they're coming for the second time and they will end up taking it out, but we don't know about that. So now what do we have on the weekly chart? So this is our weekly chart, and we also gonna have the same things that I commented on the last time when we made the video. We're saying this is our bearish trend line. The trend is actually let me just check if we went higher than this or not. Yes, we did go higher than it. I'm sure you can see here, this is our resistance, and we actually went higher than it. So in terms of the trend, our weekly is bullish, right? Because of what? It took out this and it took out this, and both of them are being taken out by this guy here. So now this guy here, it's a very strong support or demand, because of what? It pushed the price up, because remember the price was bearish, né? And if you remember what we said even in the previous video, the price was bearish, moving down nicely, but when it came here, it failed to create a lower low. If you are bearish but you're failing to create a lower low, that's not good for you. Like, it shows that you're not as strong as you used to be, because now you are failing to create a lower low. You come to the same level that you struggle to move lower than the last time you're here. You failed to continue to the downside. Now you are back around the same level, and look at what was forming there. We were forming what we call bullish rejection candlesticks, this type of candlesticks, and the price actually continues to go up because the bullish rejection candlesticks are actually a sign that the bulls are becoming aggressive. They might reject the price and push it up, and they did exactly that. And when you go to the trend line, at least we're saying, okay, we are back at the trend line, the best trend line. Maybe they will try and defend it because they're bearish, but the first sign of weakness was them failing to create a lower low. So they still showed weakness again when the price touched their trend line, and the price gave us what we call bullish rejection candlestick. So the bulls are still rejecting the price, showing that they still have it in them to try and continue again to the upside, and they did exactly that. And that's where it led to the bullish trend that we are in currently. So if you are someone that's trading on weekly, it means that you'll be keeping your eyes. If you are executing on weekly, I doubt you will be doing that because it will require a very huge capital to execute a weekly zone. So if you're someone that's trading long term, this is actually a very nice support or demand that you can take a trade from. Should the price pull back, you are allowed to maybe catch it like that, target this, the next one, like that. But it's only if you are trading on that time frame. But if you are someone that's trading on the smaller time frames, maybe you are saying because the current or this one that we had here, the resistance was taken out and the trend is still bullish. If you get some buy trades here, you can, tag them and hope that the price will target the next resistance on weekly, but it's only if you are having a chance to execute. Now let's check what we have on daily. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so, especially if you feel like these videos are helpful, né? So don't forget to subscribe there. So this is what we have on daily. And on daily, like I said, when the price when we made the thing to say that is the price gonna go down or is it gonna go back up, the price was actually here. And on the bigger time frames, we're having more to go to the downside, and on the smaller time frames, they said they can actually have a pull to the upside, and they got this strong candlestick there. But if you're pushing up but you're failing to create a higher high, it's the same thing that we got on weekly when you fail to create a lower low. That shows the signs of weakness in the bears. This side, this is the weakness in the bulls, because the bulls are the ones that are pushing up. So if they are failing to push up and create a new high, then they are not as strong as we thought they were. All right, so let's start with this one and see what we have here. So on daily, what's the trend? The trend is definitely bullish. And in terms of the zone that we are in, I don't think this one was taken out. So this is our resistance on daily, and this is our support on daily, and this is our bullish trend line on daily that's being challenged, but we are still around the bullish trend line, and we are saying that this time frame is actually bullish. So what do we do now this week? You can draw it maybe like this. You can see that we are trying to take it out, but we haven't really taken it out. So it all depends on how the price is going to react at this area, and if it does react well, it will actually push the price up. But even if it pushes the price up, you need to keep in mind that my bulls are not so strong. Why am I saying that? Because they tried to push up, but they did not create a new high, you see, and but rather they allowed the bears to create something like this, which means the bears are actually having a short-term momentum to the downside. This short-term momentum that they are having, the bears, might end up being a new trend. You see, it's possible. That's why I'm saying you need to make sure that if you decide to take that buy there from the bullish trend line, it needs to be with confirmation, because the bulls are not so strong. The bears now, they're having that momentum pushing to the downside, and even on Thursday we had this candlestick that looked like a bearish rejection candlestick. So if the bears are rejecting the price, maybe they will continue rejecting to at least this zone. Yeah, bon? So if you decide to take a buy from the bullish trend line, it needs to be with confirmation, because now the bears, they have their own trend line like this, but it says that it's not really a trend. Those that took the mentorship, they know how to differentiate a trend and just a movement that's going up or down. Sometimes the price is going up or it's going down, but it's not really a trend. So here the bears, they actually have their own trend line there. So if you are trying to get a buy trade there, it needs to be with confirmation. And because the bears are pushing down, you need to make sure that when the price moves up, you are going to actually target this as your thing, as your TP, because the bulls are not really fully in control. If they were fully in control, they would just form this high, just move like that. But once you go up and then you do this and then you do this, no, you're not strong. Look at you, you're trying to go up, but the person that's pushing down is actually making a deeper movement than you, so you're not so strong. Yeah, but so we are saying here, should the price break this, remember what we had on weekly? On weekly we said if the price gives a confirmation and you are someone that's waiting at that weekly support, maybe you will want to catch something like that. You're waiting here. But someone that's trading on daily will say that I know I'm at the weekly resistance. Should the price drop here and change the trend, I will say maybe I will try and accompany the price to that area of support. You see, it's possible. So you need to make sure that you pick your own time frames, and then you assess the structure on those time frames, and then you pull the trigger there based on the structure that's there, right? So now let's check how the structure looks like on our H4. So this is how the H4 thing looks like. Let's just adjust this daily trend line, and this is our daily trend line, and we're not gonna say it's broken because it's not drawn on this time frame. So in terms of the trend, the H4 is bearish because of what? We actually had a bullish trend line, we had a support there, and both of them were broken. So H4 looks to be going to the downside, and it has its own downward trend line, maybe the price will go and test that, and then you want to go down like that. But I feel like it will be much safer, because remember, daily is not yet going down. So maybe if it does just moves like this and break that this daily trend line on daily, then the pullback will be much safer, because you can catch it to go to the downside. Because now if the price goes up, it's possible if the price goes up immediately towards this or towards that, you need to be careful when you think of selling, because of what? Daily, the structure hasn't changed. What if we are reacting from that daily trend line and we end up going up to continue with the bullish trend? So that's where you need to be careful. Make sure that you maybe say, okay, should this be broken, I will continue trading against it. But if it's being respected, when I think of trading against it, it's a different story, and you need to be careful. So we're just gonna say maybe let's wait and see how the price reacts here, because it's been playing there for some time. Maybe it will want to come to this, and when it comes to this, it means that now we'll have maybe a daily trend line being broken, and now you can say, should the price react to this, and then maybe I'll target that, and then you'll continue like that. But it will be something that maybe this is just a pullback to continue like that. Yeah, bon. So let's check what we have on H1. So this is the same thing that last week when we looked at this. I did give you, if you still remember, we were, like I said, I was going to show you exactly where we were here when we made that. And the reason why I said that this has got higher chances of continuing to the downside was the fact that we know we are at that weekly resistance. And even when you look at this now, the price is actually at this support, was at this support at the time. I think we're somewhere around there when the week started, right? But another thing that you need to look at, yes, the trend was bullish at the time on this time frame, but the zone that we were at was not fresh, because we touched it here on Friday or Thursday, then the price came back, right? It was not fresh, and the price, when the market opened, it played there, did that. When it did that, it actually went lower than this, which means this is the thing that says, oh, look at the bears, they are so strong. And then the price now went up to maybe around there, the bearish trend line. Then it reacted, it went to the downside, because of what? The bears, they sort of moved lower than a support, which is more like opening a room to say that we can actually push it lower. We just need to go up and gather some strength, push up towards the nearest resistance or bearish channel, and then gather some strength to come back stronger. But the fact that we moved lower than this support and eliminated it was just us saying that we can actually push it towards the next one. You see, we took it out here, and then we can just go gather some strength and then continue to the downside, because they took it out. They are very strong. So for you to reverse what they did, you need to take out their zone. They took out your zone. Take out their zone to show that whatever that you're trying to do, I'm much stronger than that. Take them out, then you'll be able to continue buying. But the fact that they took out your support, you're trying to go up, you failed to take out the trend line, you failed to take out their resistance, that's just them going back to their key structures, and then they pushed down again. You can see that's why we ended up moving to the downside. That's what I'm saying. If you are a bull and you are strong, at least give us higher highs. The fact that you are failing, just doing this, you're not strong. They are just containing you, keeping you there. They can end up defeating you and continue to the downside, which is something that happened. We failed to create a new high, then that's when they eventually won, which are the bears. And now, where do we think this is most likely to go? I'm saying to you, based on H4, because the H4 trend line is the H4 is bearish, but now we cannot just sell, and this is the support on H4. And I'll take this is my resistance. We can put the bearish trend line there, and we can say that should it go up until there, I wouldn't really advise you to sell, or maybe you can try your luck with confirmation. But now I would say it will feel much safer for you to take it if it just maybe slips into this when the market opens. If it slips into this, then breaks that bullish trend line on daily, this one here. If it slips into that like this, remember this is a daily zone, that is the nearest one, and there's no any other zone. So maybe if it slips into this and take out that trend line, we would say now that even our daily is consolidating. Then you will say that if it comes here, you can get that buy trade with confirmation and then go there, and then you can now sell from there. Yeah, bon. So it all depends. So that the most important thing is for you to know that this is a very sensitive area. that can reject the price. At the same time, this is a very sensitive area, including the trend line. They can also reject the price. So you just need to make sure that you pay much attention when the price enters those two areas, because of what they have a potential to cause a reversal. So if you want to take advantage of either a buy or sell with confirmation, it needs to be from those high odd areas, or the very most sensitive areas on your chart, because they are the ones that have got the powers or the potential to sort of reverse the price. And now this is your H1, which is the last time frame that I'm going to do. H1, which is bearish, and you can also put a bearish trend line like this. And we are now at the resistance, but it's not a good resistance because we don't have enough risk to reward ratio, right? But because we are bearish, we might end up coming towards this support here. Yeah, bon. And if maybe, let's say, the price does move towards the support, it does actually react from that resistance and the trend line and move towards the support, which is something that maybe if you get confirmation there, because you are bearish but you don't have enough RR, so you want to take your chances with confirmation, you can actually target this support, because this support here, remember, it's inside that H4, it's inside that daily one. It's going to be a very sensitive area. Look at what the price did when it was forming that zone. So you might end up having a very serious reversal from this zone. So but now if you want to take it to the downside, it's a very risky one, but if you are someone that likes to take risks, you can do that. But when the price gets to this support here, because the trend line will still be there, you will have the resistance there, right? So you will say that if it gives me confirmation, and because I know the fact that this one is actually nested inside the H4, the daily one, and I get some confirmation here on H1, I'm gonna take it. But you're not gonna take it and then say I'm placing my take profit there. No, because you are taking it on H1, and the H1, when you're taking that buy, it will still be bearish, right? And you're taking a buy, so it means that because it is still bearish, it can still react from this trend line or from this resistance. So when you're taking that buy, it is a short-term buy until one of these structures is hit. So it will remain a short-term buy unless if the price continues like that and take out the resistance and the trend line, then you can wait for a pullback and buy for a bit longer. You see? So that's why we said there, even on H4 and H1, say that should the price dip into that, it will end up breaking that bullish trend line on daily into that daily support. Let's just go back. It will end up, if it goes deep like that, it will end up breaking the trend line, dip it into the support. And even on H4, we said the same thing, it will dip into this support. And even on H1, we're saying the same thing, saying that because H1 is still very much bearish, you've got this, we're at the resistance, which is not good, but you can take your chances with confirmation there. It's very, very risky, this one. So if it dips into that support, you get your confirmation and buy from there. Here on H1, you'll be targeting this. And should the price break it, then you will say, now I can buy for a bit longer, because you know the location will be inside the daily H4 area of support. Then you can buy maybe until somewhere up there. I hope this makes sense, guys. I'm going to end it here. Make sure that you follow it through. So you must be able to identify this sensitive area, so that you know that if for me to take a buy, the price must dip into this. For me to take a sell, the price must be here, so that you don't end up executing in the middle of nowhere. Alright, guys, so this is, if you watched until this point, this is all that I wanted to share with you with regards to US 100 or Nasdaq. So if you watched until this point but you haven't subscribed, please do so, and then I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.